I am 100% firmly behind Jurgen Klopp. I am in the Klopp camp, and I don't care if anybody else wants him out. I am absolutely behind the manager. This video is being brought to you with thanks to our friends at Surfshark. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to not only browse the internet entirely anonymously, but also very securely. Surfshark will secure your data with industry-leading measures using uncrackable encryption and the most secure VPN protocols. One subscription with Surfshark will work across all of your devices. I use it for unlocking things like American Netflix. We also use it if we want to watch our Canadian DAZN account and a couple of other bits and pieces. The good news is you can get 83% off. That's right, I did say 83% off. And an additional 3 months free using the Anfield Agenda link in the description. They've also got a really credible and unique 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like Surfshark, it doesn't meet your needs, which I'm going to be honest with you, it will and you won't. But if you do, if you want to change, Surfshark give you 30 days to change your mind. Why not give Surfshark a try? You'll be supporting us here at Anfield Agenda and you'll be treating yourself to the best VPN provider out there, bar none. What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's news show. I am going to take you through my thoughts on the fallout from last night's 2-1 defeat to Leeds United at Anfield. I want to talk through the social media response. I want to talk through what we can do to put it right. But most importantly, I want to let you guys know exactly where I stand in all of this and where I think the blame lies. I do love your thoughts, so let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video. And if you can, please do hit that subscribe button. As you can see in the top corner, we've just recently hit 153,000 subscribers. Still can't believe the number is that high, but I really want to thank you guys for your support and your continued support of the channel as we continue on our journey. So look, there's been loads to talk about over the past 24 hours or so since we lost that game to Leeds, and I've got to be fair and credit Leeds for their performance and their players and their manager, who were under a lot of pressure going into the game. They outworked us, outtaught us, outfought us, and deserved to leave with something yesterday. Yes, we had plenty of chances ourselves, but what you've seen yesterday was certainly an indication that those Leeds players are definitely still playing for Jesse Marsch, and they will, I'm sure, drag themselves out of the situation that they're in. That being said, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm here to speak about things from a Liverpool perspective, but there's been something that I want to just put straight and let you know exactly where I stand. I am 100% firmly behind Jurgen Klopp. I am in the Klopp camp, and I don't care if anybody else wants him out. I am absolutely behind the manager, and I'm going to tell you why, and I hope by the time I finished explaining my thoughts, you'll get a good grasp of where I am, and of course, I'm interested to see how you guys are feeling. So one of the things that I've seen over the past 12 hours or so, or 20 hours on social media, has been the fallout. As you would expect, there's the usual mix of anger, which is absolutely fair, over-the-top reactions. But one thing that's caught my eye is this belief that Jurgen Klopp has lost the dressing room, or this section that believe Jurgen Klopp may have lost the dressing room. I'm somebody who despises player power in football. I'm somebody who looks at the phrase losing the dressing room as something that is a cheap get-out-of-jail-free card for players who aren't performing. Now look, Klopp has made mistakes. Klopp will continue to make some mistakes, and I will not agree with every decision that he makes. But the reason we are where we are at the minute is a mixture of a couple of things in my eyes. It is, of course, a lack of investment in midfield from our owners, but it is also players who just aren't cutting the mustard, who aren't putting in the hard yards. And if you want proof of that, again yesterday, we were outran by 11 kilometres from those Leeds players. So on average, for the 11 lads on the pitch, a kilometre extra each was run from those Leeds United players yesterday. If you look at what has given Liverpool our success over the time with Jurgen Klopp, it has been that we make teams suffer. We make it uncomfortable. We outrun them, outwork them, and outfight them. Add into that the sprinkling of brilliance that we have at our disposal up top, and we usually find ourselves on the better end of a result. But for this season, for whatever reason, the players just aren't responding. Now, I've been thinking how I can summarise all of this into a quick sentence. If Klopp has lost the dressing room, then we need to go get a new dressing room. Because Jurgen Klopp is the most important person at our football club. And for me, he is where all the power should lay. Players are just that. players that are there to be coached by the manager. If they're not performing, it's far easy for people to start saying they're not playing for the manager, remove the manager. No. Remove the players who aren't putting in the yards. Remove the players who aren't cutting the mustard. Remove the players who are no longer able to do the job that the manager is asking them to do. So that's where I am. I am naive enough to think Klopp doesn't make mistakes. Of course that he does. But I am disgusted with what I'm seeing out there on the pitch from these Liverpool players. So whether it's a case of their legs have gone, they're mentally drained from their time at Liverpool and all the games they've had to play and the tough battles that they've been in over the years, fine. Then it's over to FSG to give Jurgen Klopp the tools to remove these players that are no longer able to put in the hard yards and replace them with younger, fresher lads that are. That's it for me. It's down to FSG, back Jurgen Klopp, or you might as well lose him. Because there's no point in having Klopp there treading water with a group of players that simply can't do the job that they're being asked to do and are forcing the manager into making some questionable decisions because he's looking to find solutions, which is his job to do, with the players who just aren't performing. I have seen too many situations over the years, whether it be United at times, certainly at Chelsea and other clubs, where players have gotten the run of the clubs and gotten ahead of themselves, and it just is left to fester, and it is a horrible situation. And I do not want Liverpool Football Club going down that route. So yes, I'm behind Jurgen Klopp, and I will continue to be behind Jurgen Klopp, because I feel if he's given the tools to do this job properly, he will succeed, as he has shown. Some things I disagree with Jurgen Klopp on. I fundamentally disagreed with him on the belief that we didn't need a midfielder in the summer. I thought we needed one at the very minimum, if not two. What we are used to with Jurgen Klopp midfield is players running up and down that pitch relentlessly, pressing, suffocating other midfields, and that forces errors, and that forces us to be able to win the ball back higher up the pitch, play with a high line, and cause errors and mistakes in the opposition. What we currently have is Fabinho, who, for whatever reason, and I do not know the answer, has not been the Fabinho of recent years, where his standards were so high. Jordan Henderson is just getting older. I don't think there's any big breakdown there. Henderson's body just doesn't seem to be able to do what it once was on a consistent basis. But I also don't think it's fair that he's expected to, because he should be taking the James Milner role in the squad now, and we should have younger, fresher legs in that midfield. Now, where I'm very confused, though, is our defence, because there are far too many lads there that just aren't pulling their weight. Van Dijk does not look like a leader at the back anymore, although I do believe Van Dijk will, of course, come good. Canade, I'm absolutely behind 100%. Gomez, I don't know what's happening. I'm very confused as to what's going on with Joe Gomez now, because you can't go from that display against Manchester City, probably the most difficult team in Europe you're going to play against, if not certainly one of them, and look like an absolute Rolls Royce, to that yesterday. And it wasn't just the one mistake yesterday. You got back to the other games against Nottingham Forest, against West Ham. Joe Gomez has been a shadow of that performance against Manchester City. And I don't know why. That's, I don't see him on the training ground every day. I don't know what the guy's mentality is like. But he has signed a new long-term deal at Liverpool Football Club. And we should expect better from somebody who should know better than to pass the ball blindly across his own 18-yard box yesterday. That is playground stuff. That is day one on the training ground when you're learning football. Don't pass the ball blindly back across your goal. Actually, just don't pass it back across your goal, full stop. So that's something that needs to be sorted out. But basically the crux of this whole video, the thing I want to get across more than anything else, is that I firmly believe that we need to be behind the manager, and that anyone who isn't cutting it in the playing staff needs to be cut out and removed. There is no room for sentimentality in football. I understand that Jurgen Klopp needs to get buy-in from those players to succeed. He needs to show respect and he needs to show loyalty back to those players. But that loyalty is no longer being reciprocated, and Jurgen Klopp is being thrown under a bus by some of these guys. He is the most important person at our football club. For me, far more important than any of the players on the pitch. And I'm firmly behind Jurgen Klopp. That is where I am at this moment in time. I don't see it changing any time in the future. So I would call on FSG to spend more money, to give Jurgen Klopp the tools that he needs, or to sell up. Because you can't have a generational manager like Klopp operating with his hands tied behind his back. So that's where I am. As I said, I want to know your thoughts on it. Let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video. And also, ahead of the Napoli game, I'm going to be doing my selection video very soon. There's going to be a lot of changes in it because quite frankly, I don't care about the Napoli game at this moment in time. That's sorted. We're already through. The odds of us topping the group are slim to none. So I'd like to see us put all our eggs in the Spurs basket and in the Southampton basket before we go off and break for the World Cup. We need to pick up points in the league. Over to you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.